Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for part 2 of my starter plant video tour. If you've been watching any of my videos, I've only got about 4 I think on there. This will make 5, and I'm in the very beginning stages of my building my community. What I'm trying to do is just build a community of people who have all starter plants. Like I said, I have not seen a lot of that type of activity, so I was trying to build that information sector. So, like I said, all of my plants are all starter plants. And the first half of my video, I started off in my bedroom, which those were the smaller end of my starter plants. In part 2, which this is the second half, I'm in my living room. I have 2 east facing windows, and as you can see, I this is my coffee table, and so I guess you can say it's slightly to the right of my living room east facing window. So again, we've got really good bright indirect light in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Again, I know these look a lot bigger than the ones in my bedroom, but they all are still starter plants. They were sold as starters. They were just a little bit bigger size plants, I guess you could say, as small, even smaller plants. So all these plants on my coffee table, they're all, and you could probably already see that, they're all Calatheas. That has been my, I think that's what started my journey. I got just very intrigued and interested in Calatheas. So that's really the plant that I have the most of is Calatheas. So we're gonna start here with my Mosaica, and she was a little beat up when I got her, but she's actually doing quite well now. Um, she had a few brown tips on her, uh, on her leaves, and I cut that off there. And then as you can see, here's the newest leaf that just came out about a week ago. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that variegation on there. And then as you can see here, she's got another one coming out right here. So, doing good. Same potting soil. I use the Miracle Grow indoor uh, plant mix. And then I put worm castings into that mixture. That's what I use with all of them. We're going to just move right over here. This is my Stromanthe Trial Star. This one was a gifted plant from one of the nurseries I ordered from that I told you in the first video. The Peperomia Hope actually died on me, and I did report that to her. I didn't request a refund because I think it had passed their policy or something like that. I just wasn't really too worried about it. But then she just kind of sent me this as a token. So we don't have a lot of the variegation. And it is like a bigger plant. But even though it is a starter plant, but you can see there's a new leaf coming out here. But I'm happy with it, and I'm glad she did that. I thought it was a really nice gesture and doing really well so far. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you how long I've had them. I've had this Calathea for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I started my starter plant journey in March of 2023. So we're in mid-June now. So 3 months. So I haven't had any plant longer than 3 months. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there as well. And as you can see, this is my green Maranta. I got a really good deal on this. It came in a pack of 2. And from what I understand, these are really easy to propagate. So I'm not too fussy over this one. It came in a pack of 2 starter plants, so I just potted both starter plants in one pot. And it's just doing really good. It's doing really well. So I've had to cut a few yellow leaves off, but that's all. It's growing really good. This is another Stromanthe TriStar. It's also, of course, a starter. All my plants are starter plants. But this one I got from another seller. I believe it was Plantarina. And I noticed her plants are really good quality too. If you haven't ordered any plants from her, I've ordered this one and a couple more from her. I think my fern, I'll show you in a minute, I got from her. But I noticed she doesn't have a whole lot of different plants. She's got a good selection. She doesn't have like a slew of plants in one genus, I guess you could say. But her plants are really good quality, I've noticed. There wasn't one, you know, brown tip or anything. And this one's doing well. There's a new leaf coming out here. So I expect this one to do well. This one was one of the first, in the first group of my Calatheas that I got. Sorry, my air conditioner just came on. I just have one big unit. Sometimes I have to talk louder to try to talk over that loud unit. Anyway, this is the Burl Marks, and it has just gone nuts. I mean, it's got all kinds of new growth going on. It's got new leaves everywhere. I can't hardly keep up with it. It's just doing really good. I've only had a couple of leaves turn yellow that I've had to you know, cut off. But other than that, this one is an older leaf, so I would expect that I'll probably end up having to cut this one off. But it's got so much new growth going on in there, I'm not even worried about it. When I got it, it was so big for a starter plant. I was like, is this really a starter plant? But then I did some research and I found out that they come out bigger. They're just bigger starter plants. And it's just a hardier Calathea. The leaves are even tougher and everything. So that one's doing good. These are where I took of course you can see a candle lantern and just put them in here because I have a heating and cooling unit that's about 4 feet away. So I put these in here to keep the air from just blowing so hard on the rest of the plants that are on my coffee table. And I think this is the Calathea Roseo-Picta, I believe. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my order history, but I think that's what this is. And as you can see, another loop, that green leaf up here is a new leaf, doing really good. It's done really good. No problems there, just beautiful. And I just, like I said, repurposed my candle holders. I have several of these candle lanterns, and I just repurposed it to use it as because you know, you've got your air in the top, and then I've got the air conditioner that blows. Like I said, it's about 4 or 5 feet away. This will block some of that air from hitting all of these plants all the time, is what I was kind of thinking. And then this is my Calathea. I think this is the Makoyana. And it's pretty too. It's been healthy from day one. There's that new leaf coming out right there on the corner, you can see. And doing really well. They're open up right now because of, you know, it's daytime, even though it's kind of a cloudy day here. But they're doing good. I've only had to cut one leaf off of this one. Back in there. And this was just something I just kind of came up with on a whim. Nobody told me to do that or anything. And then you can see I've got my rocks and water here. And I've got my, to kind of help travel around. And then I have my thermometer here. It's 50% humidity, 77.5 is the temperature in here right now. So it stays around 50, but I'm sure that in the middle part here, the humidity is probably a little bit higher than that, is what I'm kind of guessing. So we're going to slide over here to the other table. This table is farther away from the window. I'd say it's about maybe 8 feet away. This is what's left of my Calatheas orbifolia. And I had a lot of problems with this one, and some of them were due to me. I'm going to take full responsibility. What happened is when I was ordering plants, I was getting really excited because when I just, decided to start doing, growing plants inside, and I started ordering all these small plants, I had some cuttings from another, seller, and the cuttings, when I got them, just didn't look good at all. So I put some rooting hormone on them that I had, stuck them in this planter, and then they still died. Well, the orbifolia came, and I was looking for somewhere to put it, so I just took those cuttings out and stuck the orbifolia in the same soil. I know, smacked my hand. I was in a rush to get this plant into some soil. I was at the very beginning stages of starting 3 months ago, and I just wasn't thinking. I thought, okay, it'll be fine. And then the leaves start turning yellow and black and all kinds of stuff. So I quickly took the plant out of that soil, put it in fresh soil. I had bought the worm castings and did more research by that time. And so I, put the worm castings in there, and still some other leaves were slowly fading away. But this is actually the newest leaf. You can see a little bit of browning there. And then this is a new leaf coming out, and it looks like it's going to be healthy. So I'm thinking this one's going to be okay. Not going to give up. This is a Palea, or a friendship plant, and it's a thirsty little rascal. I have to water this thing like maybe every 4 days. I'm not sure if it's the clay pot, which, by the way, I painted this pot myself. I just kind of threw some color on it because I just wanted something different than just the plain old, terracotta color. So I just played around and painted this pot myself. But it's a thirsty little rascal. It drinks a lot, and it's grown a lot, and it just kind of hangs out. It doesn't do anything spectacular. But when I got it, it was real teeny, and of course you can see now it's really grown, so I'm proud of it. Over here is the button fern I got from Plantarina, and it's doing good. I've had it about a month, and I bought 2 of the button ferns and put them, 2 of the starter button ferns, and put them together in one pot. And I have this in a little bit different soil. This is in a tropical mix soil. I decided to try that, and it's doing okay. Got a little bit of browning, but I also have some growth too. Ferns, we know, are very finicky, and this is probably the only fern that I will buy, to be honest with you, unless I see another one that knocks my socks off. But I thought this was a different breed. I'd never seen a button fern, and I thought this would be fun to have. And I was planning on, if it does well and thrives well, then I'm going to turn it into a hanger. That's the plan. And then last but not least, actually that's not the last plant. This is the next to last plant. This is my spider plant, as you can tell. This is just the piece of what was left from a cutting of a spider plant that I bought. The other parts of the cuttings actually died. And so I put some rooting hormone on this one cutting. And as you can see, there's 4, 1, 2, 3, where's the other one? 4 right here left to this one cutting. And then it's growing a pup right here. And then since I had to get rid of the rest of the spider plant, I decided to buy some starter. I think this is the fireball or something like that, orange fire or something, spider plant. So I mixed it into the same pot, and there's some new growth coming up right there. And then there's some new growth coming up on the regular spider plant. And this was supposed to be variegated, but somehow the variegation left. I don't know why, but it's really healthy looking, so I'm not going to complain. But I'm looking forward to these, the fire spider plants growing up. And I think it makes a really pretty pot too. Look at that. The color of the spider plant and the variegation in there, and at the stems down here, and then the pot. It just looks really good in there, I think. And then last but not least, these are my I always want to call these spider plants. These are my air plants. I got them in a pack of 10, and I've had them for about 2.5 months, and they're still living. I soak them in water. Like I said, I water all of my plants in drinking water, filtered drinking water, the same water I drink. That's what I water them all of my plants in. And I soak these once a week. And I had one that bloomed. It actually bloomed a flower, but the flower died off really quickly. And I noticed they have a little brownness at the bottom, but I usually pull that off whenever I soak them, which is once a week. I soak them for about 15 minutes in some purified or some distilled, or not distilled. I keep saying distilled, not distilled. It's purified drinking water. And I can even see some new growth coming out of this one. But they just kind of hang out, and they're cool. They're cool. They pretty much look the same. There's not anything really dramatically different about them, but I had one that actually did, like I said, it actually bloomed. And I will show you that picture, maybe use it as the intro to this video. I think I'll do that so you can see, so you'll be able to see the one that of these spider plants that actually grew a flower. It was exciting. It scared me. I was looking at them and I said, oh, it's grown a flower. It was exciting. I said, oh my gosh. So I'm glad I took a picture of it because, like I said, it didn't last very long. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. This is Elusive Plant Lady. I appreciate your support. Any of my videos that you've watched, any comments, suggestions that you have for me as far as my starter plant journey goes, or share with me your starter plant journeys and your pictures. I'd love to see how you're doing. And that's what we're here for. We're here to support each other on our planting love journeys. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be back to chat with you all soon. Take care.